This spring, the two remaining Frontier flights from Colorado Springs to Denver won't be an option in a few months.
I think it is inconvenient for people who aren't familiar with the area.
According to the airline, bookings have deteriorated, and they were left with no responsible choice but to terminate the service. This decision is not sitting well with travelers.
You know, I wouldn't want to have to drive from Denver to Colorado Springs in like a freak snowstorm.
Daphne Phillips with National American University says her company flies hundreds of employees monthly using this connector flight.
Well, since we have a campus here, I'd probably say that people fly in and out of here probably a couple times a month.
Colorado Springs airport officials remind travelers that 4 major airlines continue to serve the Springs, with flights to 10 major hubs, including Denver.
Having these smaller hubs and smaller airlines, it does allow people to go where they want in a convenient way.
Frontier employs 37 people in the Springs who will have the option to apply for other jobs with the company in Denver. Some travelers say they're willing to make the trip to DIA to stay with the carrier.
So I guess I'd prefer it the other way, but I don't know that it would stop me.
Wheels up for the final Frontier flight for the Springs will be April 7th. Jeff Womack, Fox 21 News.
We're in a constant conversation with all of the airlines to look for opportunities for them to add service into Colorado Springs.
Those words spoken by former Colorado Springs Airport Aviation Director Mark Earl. Earl served as director for nearly a decade, hired under the Rivera administration in 2003.
We had a lot of success. The economy turning around and going down has a lot of impact on the other side when things aren't as successful, but Mark was always there with creative, innovative ideas.
Together, Earl and Rivera nearly brought Southwest Airlines to the Springs. While that deal fell through, they were successful in landing the low-cost carrier Frontier and the growth of jobs in the airport business park. Rivera says Earl and he knew the success of the airport was a direct link to the growth of Colorado Springs.
There's no question, an airport with a lot of different options and a fair rate structure so people don't have to pay too much to travel is important to our community. It certainly helps economic growth.
For now, Assistant Aviation Director Tom Gallagher will serve as Interim Aviation Director. Earl will serve as Senior Advisor.
He certainly was proactive and reached out to the airlines. I would be surprised if he's changed that approach and is sitting back and waiting for the airlines to call him. I don't think that's happening. I think he's out there trying to do what the mayor wants him to do and trying to grow the market. You get a new administration, different personalities, and mayor's in charge. He gets to set the direction, and that's what he's doing.
John Martin, Fox 21 News.
It's all about making it the best possible customer service experience. But then there's the air service side, of course, and so we're doing everything we can that we have direct control over.
For what they are in control of, Colorado Springs Airport is adding amenities like new restaurants, free Wi-Fi, and expanding areas to increase the fluidity of foot traffic and even giving you a little more personal space.
We've added more room on the other side for people to recover from the screening process. That'll be just for the passengers, where they've got plenty of room to spread out, recover all their stuff, and recover the kids, get dressed.
One thing the airport has no control over is the proximity to Denver International.
We're not going to go out and beat people over the head for driving up to Denver when they feel like it's in their interest to do that. But we do ask people, always take a look and see if there's a way that you can find a service that works for you out of the Colorado Springs Airport first. Because the more you support it, the more that we have to make an argument to the airlines that they need to add service. If you don't use it, they draw that service down immediately.
Recently, Frontier announced it was ending its service to Denver.
Frontier was using an aircraft called an Embraer 190. Those aircraft are not owned by Frontier. They're owned by Republic Airlines, who owns Frontier. And Republic has made the decision to take those aircraft and shift them elsewhere in the system.
But Colorado Springs Airport is keeping the lines of communication open with other carriers.
All of them, even the ones that everybody constantly asks for. We're in a constant conversation with all of the airlines to look for opportunities for them to add service into Colorado Springs.
John Martin, Fox 21 News.